There are times in your fantasy football draft that reaching ahead of ADP to secure a player that has league-winning upside is justified. I'm Seslowsky, and thanks for tuning back into RosterWatch. On this video, we'll give you 3 players that may be worth reaching ahead of ADP that possibly can win your league. The idea is that they could be a first-round pick next year. The first player we're going to talk about is Travis Etienne, the rookie running back on Jacksonville. His current ADP is 42 overall, RB21. RosterWatch does have Najee Harris as our top-rated rookie running back for fantasy football. Of course, you need to pay a fringe first-round pick to get Harris. Etienne and Harris both have first-round draft pedigree, so why is Etienne's fantasy football ADP significantly cheaper than Harris? It's the perceived team context, of course. Etienne is presumably in a committee with James Robinson, while Harris is the unquestioned workhorse runner in Pittsburgh. You have to ask yourself this question. What if James Robinson was unfortunately out for the season? Where would Travis Etienne get drafted? The answer is likely the top half of the first round. It's easy to see Travis Etienne as a top 3 overall fantasy pick in 2022. If you believe Travis Etienne has that kind of upside, it may be worth reaching for him ahead of his ADP. The second player we're going to talk about is rookie running back Trey Sermon. Currently the 75th player according to ADP, the 28th running back off the board. Sermon landed in an ideal spot for running back. The 49ers system is tailor-made for running back production. Even fringe NFL players like Matt Breida and Jeff Wilson produced when given the opportunity. Sermon is a late 6th-round pick according to current ADP, and for good reason. His role is not guaranteed, especially early in the season. He could be a tough player to hold in some leagues that have short benches. The upside is easy to see. Sermon can plausibly be used to soften up defenses and get them ready for speedster Raheem Mostert to come in and break a long run. If Sermon is grinding away yards, uses a rugged runner, and presumably getting some touchdown equity, he is going to be worth reaching ahead of his ADP. RosterWatch has closely monitored Sermon's ADP, which keeps rising over the last few months. The Ultimate Draft cheat sheet is calibrated to stay ahead of ADP to ensure that RosterWatch Nation is drafting Trey Sermon. Even if Sermon sneaks into the 5th round, he is a player worth reaching for. The third player we're going to talk about is Chicago Bears running back David Montgomery, currently with an ADP of 40, running back 20 overall. Montgomery has been considered a fantasy football consolation prize ever since he was drafted in 2019. Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs have been the heralded crown jewels of that RB class. D-Mon opened up a lot of eyes with his epic fantasy football run from weeks 12 to 17 last year in your fantasy playoffs. He likely won you the league. He was the RB1 during that stretch. Critics of David Montgomery will point to that it was an easy run schedule, that pass-catching running back Tariq Cohen was out, but that doesn't matter. David Montgomery actually did it. Presumably, when Justin Fields takes over, that should open up even more running lanes for David Montgomery. Montgomery's early 4th-round ADP bakes in all of the risk, and RosterWatch can endorse jumping ahead of that ADP to secure David Montgomery. We could easily see him being a late 1st-round pick next season. Okay, RosterWatch Nation, that's it for today. Remember to like and subscribe to get notifications when we go live, and leave us a comment in the video. Let us know which players you might be reaching ahead of ADP to secure in your fantasy football league. Until next time, goodbye.